Have you noticed your legs feeling heavier lately? Maybe climbing stairs takes more effort than it used to, or getting up from a chair feels like lifting weights. It's easy to blame aging. But what if part of the reason lies in the foods you eat, especially the fruits you have always believed were healthy? In today's video, we're uncovering 6 everyday fruits that may be quietly working against your mobility, joint health, and leg strength. These are common choices, fruits you probably eat without a second thought, but your body, especially after 60, may no longer process them the same way. If you care about walking with ease, staying independent, and keeping your legs pain-free, this is for you. So gently tap that like button, subscribe to Nutrition for Seniors, and turn on the bell so you never miss insights that matter. 1. Pineapple, the tropical fruit that may be silently weighing down your legs. 500 words. Storytelling a tone emotionally engaging. Do your legs ever feel oddly heavy after just a short walk? Like they're dragging behind you no matter how much you rest? Maybe your knees ache more at night now, or your ankles throb after dinner. It's easy to assume it's just age. But what if something as cheerful as a slice of pineapple was quietly playing a part? Pineapple. It's bright, tropical, and feels like sunshine in a bowl. We've all been told it's good for us thanks to a natural enzyme called bromelain, often praised for reducing inflammation. And yes, in many ways, it can be helpful. But for those of us in our 60s, 70s, or beyond, our bodies don't respond to it the way they used to. Let's look closer. Pineapple is naturally high in sugar and acidity. As we age, our blood vessels become more fragile, and our ability to process sugar efficiently declines. A few bites of pineapple can send your blood sugar soaring, and when that happens, your smallest blood vessels, especially those that supply your legs, knees, and feet, take the hit. Over time, they receive less oxygen and circulation, leading to that familiar soreness, fatigue, and swelling. And the sugar isn't the only issue. Pineapple's acidity, though refreshing to the tongue, can be irritating to aging joints. If you already deal with inflammation, arthritis, or joint stiffness, pineapple may be adding fuel to the fire. It's like pouring lemon juice on a paper cut. It doesn't just sting, it lingers. Some seniors describe a heaviness in their legs or a strange stiffness in their knees after eating pineapple. Not immediately, not obviously, but gradually as the acids and sugars build up, the discomfort follows, quiet, creeping, and easy to overlook. Then there's medication. If you're on blood thinners or anti-inflammatory drugs, pineapple's bromelain can interact with those medications, sometimes making them too strong or not strong enough. It's a hidden risk, especially when you're eating pineapple regularly, thinking it's helping, not realizing it may be interfering with your treatment. That's what makes pineapple tricky. There's no dramatic warning sign, no sharp pain right away. It slips under the radar, slowly changing the way your legs feel, move, and recover. One day you just notice it's harder to stand, slower to walk, tougher to get moving in the morning. So what can you do? You don't have to fear pineapple. You don't even have to give it up forever. But if you've been struggling with persistent leg pain, swelling, or tightness, this fruit might be worth reconsidering, or at least reducing. Because every small choice we make now can either support our body or weigh it down. Next up is a fruit that looks even more innocent, but may be quietly undoing your strength with every bite. Let's take a closer look. 2. Bananas, the gentle fruit that may be silently draining your strength. You've probably heard it all your life. Bananas are good for muscles. And it's true, they're rich in potassium, something easy to digest, and often recommended to prevent cramps or boost energy. They're comforting too. Maybe you enjoy one with your morning coffee or as a quick afternoon snack. But here's something most people don't realize, especially as we grow older. The same banana that helped your body at 30 may not treat you the same at 65 or 70. Let me explain. Bananas are packed with natural sugars and fast-digesting carbohydrates. When you eat one, especially on an empty stomach, it can cause a quick spike in your blood sugar. Now, that might not have been a problem years ago, but after 60, the body's ability to regulate insulin starts to shift. Instead of handling the sugar efficiently, your system may respond with inflammation, a slow-burning discomfort that affects your legs, joints, and overall energy. Have you ever noticed your legs feel heavy after a meal Or that climbing stairs leaves your thighs aching more than usual? That dull stiffness in your calves, or that subtle pressure in your knees? It might be your body reacting to those seemingly innocent bites. There's another layer to this too. Bananas can cause your body to retain more water, especially if you have heart-related conditions. This isn't something you'll notice right away, but over time, you may begin to see swollen ankles, puffy feet, or tightness around your knees, especially in the late afternoon or evening. And instead of relieving cramps, bananas may slowly increase stiffness in people whose systems can no longer process their sugar and starch content like they used to. It's a bit ironic, isn't it? A fruit known for supporting muscles might be quietly weakening them step by step. You may not feel a dramatic effect after one banana, but think about how often you eat them. Every day, a few times a week. That slow buildup can lead to subtle wear on your strength. And what's worse is you might keep eating them thinking they're helping because that's what you've always believed. Here's the truth. Bananas aren't bad, but they might not be the best choice for your body at this stage of life. If your legs feel sore more often, if walking becomes less steady, or if stiffness seems to follow your meals, this is your body's way of whispering something's off. Don't ignore it. Taking care of yourself now means being open to the idea that some old habits might need adjusting. And sometimes it starts with something as small as rethinking what's in your fruit bowl. Coming up next is a fruit even smaller, but its impact could be much bigger than you expect. Let's take a closer look. 3. Grapes, the tiny fruit that can stir up big trouble in your joints. They're small, sweet, and easy to snack on. A handful here, a bowl there. Grapes seem harmless, don't they? They're often praised for being heart-healthy, full of antioxidants, and good for circulation. But for older adults, especially those experiencing leg stiffness or aching joints, grapes may not be as gentle as they appear. Let's take a step back and think about what's really inside them. Grapes are loaded with fructose, a type of natural sugar that, in high amounts, doesn't always get used up by your body. Instead, much of it is processed by your liver, where it can turn into fat and uric acid. Over time, if your liver can't keep up, especially as metabolism slows with age, that uric acid begins to accumulate in your joints, often in the toes, ankles, and knees. Sound familiar? Have you ever felt a burning pain in your big toe at night? A strange pulsing ache in your calf after just a short walk? Or maybe your knees feel swollen after sitting too long. These symptoms might not just be old age. They could be your body responding to elevated uric acid levels, quietly triggered by something as small as a bunch of grapes. It doesn't take much. Grapes are easy to overeat. They're bite-sized, soft, and refreshing. But before you know it, you've had 2 or 3 cups, and with them, a big dose of natural sugar your body may struggle to process efficiently now. But it's not just about uric acid. Fructose also fuels chronic inflammation. That means more pressure on your joints, slower movement, and longer recovery after walking or exercise. You might notice your legs feel tighter than usual, or your steps a bit more sluggish after a grape-heavy snack. It's sneaky. You think you're making a healthy choice, and once maybe you were, but as we age, what our bodies need and what they can handle shifts quietly. A snack that once nourished you might now be working against your strength, flexibility, and balance. This doesn't mean you have to ban grapes forever, but it does mean listening a little closer to what your body's been trying to tell you through stiffness, swelling, or that aching feeling that seems to show up without warning. If your legs feel heavier these days, or your joints just aren't as forgiving, it may be time to look at your plate and your fruit bowl with new eyes. Next, let's look at a fruit that feels light as water, but might be creating more pressure than relief. You'll want to pay close attention to this one. Watermelon, the refreshing fruit that may secretly strain your legs. Picture a hot summer afternoon. You're sitting on the porch, a breeze in the air, and a cold slice of watermelon in your hand. It's sweet, juicy, and feels like the perfect way to cool down. Watermelon has always seemed like a safe choice. Mostly water, low in calories, light on the stomach. But for aging bodies, even something that feels harmless can carry hidden effects. Here's what many people don't know. Watermelon has an incredibly high glycemic index. That means even though it feels light, It causes your blood sugar to rise very quickly, almost like candy. For someone in their 30s, the body might handle that rush with no issue. But after 60, when your insulin response has slowed and your circulation isn't as strong, those sugar spikes can take a toll, especially on your legs. Think about it. When your blood sugar rises rapidly, your body scrambles to produce insulin. But if it can't manage that spike effectively, it often responds with inflammation, silent, lingering, and centered around your weakest points. For many older adults, that's the calves, knees, ankles, and hips. You might notice it just minutes or hours after enjoying watermelon. A strange tightness in your legs, or a low-grade ache that shows up during a short walk. You might find your ankles swelling more easily, or your knees feeling stiff by evening, even if you haven't done much all day. It doesn't make sense at first. After all, it's just fruit, right? That's what makes watermelon so misleading. It feels hydrating, but it acts like a sugary trap. And because it's so easy to eat slice after slice, the effect builds fast. One piece becomes two, then three. Before long, your body is trying to handle more sugar than it's built for, and your joints are the ones paying the price. This isn't about blaming watermelon. It's about understanding how a fruit that once served your body may now be causing subtle strain. And when that happens over and over, day after day, the result can feel like your legs are giving out faster than they should. So, is watermelon bad for everyone? Not necessarily. But if you're noticing increased tiredness in your legs, more swelling, or a feeling that stairs are becoming harder than they used to be, this fruit may be worth reconsidering or limiting. Because taking care of yourself doesn't always mean drastic change. Sometimes it just means choosing differently, listening closer, making one thoughtful decision at a time. And speaking of citrusy choices, our next fruit is one that's often associated with health and immunity, but may be adding unexpected acid to already sensitive joints. Let's talk about it. 5. Oranges, the bright morning fruit that may be stirring up hidden joint pain. Think back to your morning routine. Maybe for years you've started your day with a glass of orange juice or peeled a fresh orange while listening to the news. It's become a symbol of health, bright, refreshing, full of vitamin C. But if your knees feel more swollen lately or your hips ache after sitting too long, there may be more to this familiar fruit than meets the eye. Oranges carry a secret most of us don't talk about. While they do provide valuable nutrients, oranges are also packed with citric acid. And for people over 60, that acid can become an irritant to aging joints, especially if you're already dealing with stiffness, arthritis, or ongoing inflammation. Citrus fruits like oranges may be aggravating the very symptoms you're trying to manage. It often shows up in small ways. You might wake up with tightness in your knees or feel a deep pressure in your hips after sitting for a meal. That soreness in your legs that doesn't go away after stretching? It might not be the weather or even your mattress. It could be your morning orange working against you. And then there's the sugar. Oranges also contain natural sugar, which isn't inherently bad, but when combined with the acid, it can cause fluctuations in your blood sugar, especially in a body with a slower metabolism. These fluctuations can lead to inflammation throughout your system, with your joints bearing the brunt of it. The result? Every step feels a little heavier. Every movement a little slower. Over time, your legs may feel like they're aging faster than the rest of you. That's the tricky thing about oranges. They carry the image of wellness. And for many years, they did support your health. But as the body changes, so do its needs. What once gave you energy might now be quietly contributing to pain and fatigue. Of course, you don't have to throw away every orange in your kitchen. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. If your joints have been bothering you more lately, or if swelling and discomfort seem to show up uninvited, it might be time to ask, is this fruit still serving me? Or is it time for something gentler? Aging gracefully doesn't mean giving up on the foods you love. It means learning to listen, to recognize that even healthy habits sometimes need adjusting, because your body is changing, and it deserves to be met with understanding, not assumptions. Now let's look at another fruit that's often seen as the smart choice. Crisp, tart, and said to be healthier than its sweeter cousins. But even this one may be hiding something that keeps your legs from feeling their best. 6. Green apples, the healthy snack that may be quietly wearing down your legs. You've likely heard it before, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And for the most part, that's true. Apples are packed with fiber, they're easy to carry, and they've long been seen as a healthy choice. For many, green apples seem like the smartest version. Less sweet, more crisp, and often chosen to cut down on sugar. But sometimes even the healthiest habits deserve a second look. Let's talk about what might be hiding under that crisp, tart skin. Green apples get their distinct flavor from malic acid, a naturally occurring compound that gives them that tangy bite. While malic acid is fine for younger, stronger digestive systems, it can become an irritant as we age. Our gut lining grows more delicate and joints become more sensitive. That same acid, once easy to process, may now cause internal inflammation that settles in your legs, hips, or knees. Have you ever felt a strange tightness in your thighs after eating, or a burning sensation in your feet at night? Maybe you notice your knees feel stiffer after lunch, especially if a raw green apple was part of your meal. These small aches might not be coincidence. They could be your body's way of whispering that something's not sitting right anymore. And while green apples taste less sweet than red ones, they still contain natural sugars. For older adults with slower metabolisms, even that small amount of sugar can lead to blood sugar fluctuations. When your body struggles to regulate those ups and downs, it can respond with, you guessed it, inflammation, poor circulation, and leg fatigue. It doesn't happen all at once. That's what makes it so easy to overlook. You might snack on a green apple in the afternoon thinking it's the lighter choice, or enjoy slices before bed. But if you find yourself waking up with stiff knees, or climbing stairs with less strength than you used to, your body may be reacting to something as simple and familiar as that apple. And here's the hardest part. You're doing this with the best of intentions. You're choosing the healthier apple. You're trying to make smart decisions. But your body, with all its wisdom and changes, may be asking you to rethink what healthy looks like now. This isn't about guilt or fear. It's about tuning in, about realizing that some fruits, even the ones we trust most, might no longer be giving us what we truly need. So before you reach for another green apple, ask yourself, how do I feel afterward? That quiet question could be the start of a more comfortable step, a lighter morning, a less swollen evening. And next, let's take a closer look at one last fruit, sweet, tropical, and beloved by many, but quite possibly the most deceptive of them all. 7. Mango. The sweet delight that may be secretly fueling your joint discomfort. Mangoes. Just the name might bring back memories. Hot summer days, sticky fingers, sweet golden slices that melt in your mouth. Mango feels like nature's candy. Soft, tropical, comforting. It's the kind of fruit that makes you smile before the first bite. But behind that sweet, sunny flavor, there's something important every older adult should know. Mango is one of the most sugar-rich fruits you can eat. That natural sweetness you enjoy, it packs a stronger punch than you might expect, especially if you're over 60 and your body isn't processing sugar the way it used to. Here's the thing, when you eat mango, it can cause a rapid spike in blood sugar. Your body responds by releasing insulin, but as we age, that system becomes less efficient. Over time, these quick surges followed by sudden drops can cause inflammation deep within your joints, especially in places where circulation is already struggling, your ankles, knees, and hips. If you've ever felt a burning sensation in your toes or a strange tingling in your feet that doesn't go away, this may not just be a nerve issue. It could be your body's quiet reaction to the excess sugar it's trying to manage. That heaviness you feel in your legs by evening, the way your calves seem to tire out faster than they should. Mango might be a small part of that puzzle. The tricky part is that mango doesn't feel heavy. It feels light, fresh, even healthy. That's why it's so easy to overeat. One slice becomes 3. Before you know it, you've consumed the sugar equivalent of a dessert without realizing the effect it could be having on your joints. It's especially important if you're already managing conditions like diabetes, prediabetes, or arthritis. For people with slower metabolisms or weaker circulation, that extra sugar can quietly worsen inflammation, making it harder to walk, recover, or feel steady on your feet. And yet, mango is natural. It's fruit. It feels like it should be good for you. But here's a gentle truth. Natural doesn't always mean safe, especially as our bodies age. What once felt nourishing may now be tipping the balance in the wrong direction. That doesn't mean you have to give it up forever. It means being mindful, listening, watching how your body responds, not just in the moment, but hours later. Because every choice you make now either adds to your strength or takes a little from it. So the next time you slice a mango, ask yourself, will this bring me comfort or will it quietly bring me pain? Now that you've seen the 7 fruits that may be working against your legs and joints, it's time for something empowering. Let's explore the fruits that can do the opposite, the ones that can help you feel stronger, lighter, and more balanced with every step. If this message spoke to your heart, even just a little, type good in the comments below. Let it be your quiet way of saying, I care about my body, I want to feel strong, I want to do good for myself and the people I love. Sometimes the smallest word carries the deepest meaning. As we've seen today, not all fruits age as gracefully as we do. While some can silently weigh down our legs and stir up joint pain, others are gentle allies, fighting inflammation, improving circulation, and supporting every step we take. By choosing wisely, berries instead of grapes, avocado instead of mango, we give our bodies the chance to feel lighter, steadier, and more at peace. But remember, this isn't about restriction, it's about awareness. It's about listening to what your body has been quietly telling you and honoring it with better choices. And the best part? You don't have to change everything at once. Maybe tomorrow you swap one fruit for another. Maybe this week you pause before reaching for that slice of watermelon. These small acts of care add up, and over time they create a life that feels more comfortable, more mobile, and more you. You deserve to feel good in your body, at every age, every stage, and every step of the way. If this video opened your eyes or simply made you feel seen, we'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Just type good to let us know you're walking this path with us. And if you want more gentle, trustworthy advice for aging well and feeling your best, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss a video. Here at Nutrition for Seniors, we believe growing older should feel empowering, not confusing. Let's learn, grow, and stay strong together.